everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Katie, and today we are going to talk about the books I'm excited for that are coming out in spring of 2024. So I have my Goodreads here. I am so excited for some of these books. Now, my list is not that big for spring. I was really shocked because normally spring is like huge for new releases, but my list is quite small. Now, I do have quite a few in Christian fiction, very few middle grade, and some historical fiction. No fantasy and sci-fi, and no thriller and mysteries. So that's okay. So I'm going to go with middle grade first since there's only a few there. So we'll go with that first. So the first one is, let's see, April, May, and June. I had to figure out what months we're going in. April, May, and June. Okay, so the first one is called The Wrong Way Home by Kate O'Shaughnessy. And I think I've heard good things about her books, but I've never read one. So this one is about a girl named Fern who believes she's living a noble life. But what if everything she's been told is a lie? This is a huge-hearted story about a girl learning to question everything and to trust in herself. Fern's lived at the ranch, an off-the-grid sustainable community in upstate New York since she was 6. The work is hard, but Fern admires the ranch's leader, Dr. Ben. So when Fern's mother sneaks him away in the middle of the night and says Dr. Ben is dangerous, Fern doesn't believe it. She wants desperately to go back, but her mom just keeps driving. Suddenly, Fern is thrust into this treacherous, toxic outside world. So it definitely has to do with a cult. And I think I probably learned this from Chantel, this book, because I know she loves cult stories. And I'm interested in some of them. I've enjoyed some, and I've DNF'd some. So we'll see which way this goes. But I think it's going to be really good, and hopefully she has like a good redeeming story. So yeah. Okay, and then the next one coming out, that one came out on April 2nd. So that's when that one's coming out. The next one comes out on May 7th, and that is The One and Only Family by Catherine Applegate. It is the 4th book in the One and Only Ivan series, and I don't know if this is going to be her last book in the series or not. We'll see. I do really love the cover. It's probably my favorite. It's super cute. Love the family of gorillas. I don't know if he's going to have his own family or are they going to be adopted. I don't know. I'm not going to say the book description because it is the 4th book in a series, but I'm excited to give that one a shot. Okay, and then the next one that's coming out is on May 28th. This is the last middle grade, and it's called A Galaxy of Whales by Heather Fawcett. That name sounds familiar, so I might have read a book by her. Or maybe I had one on my list. Oh no, I do have one on the list. She's the author of Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, and I do have that one on my list, and I've heard it's very good. So I put her middle grade because this cover is probably one of my favorite middle grade covers ever. The galaxy with the whales like flying through the galaxy. Love that. So this one is about whale watching, obviously, and a friendship both lost and found. So this is about, another girl named Fern. Wasn't the other one named Fern? I think it was. When Fern hears about a photo contest with a big cash award, she decides she'll enter and win. After all, photography is her passion, and was an interest she shared with her dad, who has recently died. She knows she can take a prize-worthy photo of a whale during one of the whale-watching tours her mom runs. But her neighbor and nemesis Jasper is also planning to enter the contest. It's another frustration for Fern while she's already coping with the worry that her best friend Ivy might not want to spend time with her anymore. She's hoping to use the prize money to buy something that will attract Ivy's interest. Well, that last part, girl, you can't buy anybody's friendship. If you can, it doesn't last that long anyway. So, but yes, so sounds, the cover I think intrigues me more than the actual story. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know how that one's going to go. Okay, let's go to historical fiction then. So I have a few coming out. Let's see. So the first one is, now this one I got because of the cover. And if you know me, I've read a book with a similar cover. Now this one's called The Hidden Book by Christy Manning. Do you recognize the model on this cover? I'll give you a few seconds. Okay, so The Maid of Ballymaccool by Jennifer Dybel. This is the same model. Now, I don't know if you can tell. I'm pretty sure it's the same model. So, kind of funny. I've noticed that in one or two books as well that it's kind of funny that they use the same model. I'm like, I recognize that girl. I recognize her. So, yeah, kind of interesting. So this one, let's see, it talks about Europe, 1940, imprisoned in the wow, okay, I can't pronounce that one. Mauthausen concentration camp in Austria. Spanish fighter and photographer Mateo Baca is ordered to process images of the camp and inmates for a handful of photo books being made for presentation to top Nazi figures. Just 5 books in total, or so the officials think. Wow. Mateo manages to make a secret 6th book, and with the help of a local woman, Elena Lang, it remains hidden until the end of the war. Okay, that sounds amazing, and I can't wait to read that one. So, I found that book based off the cover model, but I think it's going to be actually really good. The rating so far is 3.99, and it already has 400 reviews almost, so I think it's going to be a good one. Yeah. Okay, and then the next one is The Outlaw Noble Salt by Amy Harmon. I still have not read an Amy Harmon book, but I've heard nothing but good things, so why am I waiting this long? I don't know. But here's another one I'm putting on my list. So this one is about an infamous outlaw, Butch Cassidy, which I have heard of. He decides to go straight. He discovers that too many of the powerful men he crossed won't let bygones be bygones. To have a chance at a new life, he'll have to become someone else entirely. Okay, just that little snippet sounds so good. I love a good outlaw story. This is going to be great. It already has a 4.66 rating with almost 100 reviews. So, okay, so I guess that's my last book that I am interested in reading for historical fiction. So I only had 2. That's okay. There's more coming out later on in the year. Well, I hope I put the one, okay, because there is one coming out in summer, but you'll have to wait for that one. Okay, and then we're going on to Christian fiction, which I do have quite a few listed. So these aren't in actual order of publication because, as you know, Goodreads isn't the greatest at doing that, so we'll see. All right, so the first one is on May 7th, which is A Runit Love by Toni Shiloh. This is her second book in the Love and the Spotlight series. So in this one, we're following, I believe it was the first girl's friend. Was it her? Was it her friend? I can't remember. Piper. And then we have the brother or friend of the first main character named Tucker. So we got them both. So I'm excited to see the romance, see where it goes. You know me and Toni Shiloh. I love her to pieces. Love her so much. So A Runit Love. Very excited. The first book I did really enjoy, but it wasn't an absolute favorite. So, but this one has to do with like the horse races and stuff. So I think it's going to be a good time. Okay, and then the next one is Secondary Target by Angela Carlisle. I think that's how you pronounce her name. This is a debut novel, I believe. So I'm really excited to check this one out. I think I already requested my review copy for this one. So this one, it says, after the brutal murder of her mother and brother 12 years ago, Karina Roberts built a new life in Kentucky. But then strange things begin to happen, and she is thrust into a perilous game of life and death. With nowhere else to turn, her best hope of survival depends on her ex, Army veteran Bryce Jessup. Recently returned from service, Bryce has every intention of staying away from Karina, but when threats close in around her, he isn't allowed to leave her safety to chance. As their search for answers uncovers lethal secrets her detective father kept hidden, Bryce and Karina must untangle the mystery of the merciless killer intent on terrorizing and eliminating Karina's family before it's too late. So, sounds really good. I'm excited to try out a new debut author. So, haven't tried out a new debut author lately, so I'm excited. Okay, the next one is coming out on May 21st. That is The Sisters of Corinth, which is the second book in the Emma series by Angela Hunt. And I read the first book in the series, one of my favorites of last year. I loved it so, so much. And yeah, so this one is going to be about the new provincial governor arrives in Corinth. And so we're seeing the esteemed chief magistrate Narcus Ligus, maybe? He's delighted. He sees a golden opportunity in the governor's presence, a chance to unite their households through the marriage of one of his beautiful unwed daughters to the governor's firstborn son. Such an advantageous union would surely bring divine blessings from the gods and propelling him to greater power and fortune. Yet complications quickly arise in Narcissus' own family. Mariana, his stepdaughter, holds steadfast faith in Yeshua, rendering her hesitant to marry a man devoted to the Roman gods, despite Narcissus' urging. On the other hand, Prima, his daughter by birth, yearns for a life of wealth and status, and is willing to go to great lengths to secure a marriage that fulfills her desires, even if it means betraying Mariana to do it. Sounds good. And yeah, so I've read quite a few of Angela's books, so I'm intrigued to try that one. I don't know if it's going to be as good as the first book. Definitely, it's a completely different story and different characters. I don't even think we heard of any of these characters in the first book, so that's why I read the description to you all. Okay, so May 21st comes out The Road Before Us by Janine Rush, and I'm very excited. I loved the other book that I read by her last year. Cannot wait to read this one. So in this one, it says, how far would you go to fix the mistakes you've made and regain the trust you lost? For Jade Jessup, the answer is 2,448 miles. Once one of Chicago's significant financial advisors, Jade lost her credibility when her fiancé and co-worker stole millions of dollars from their clients in a Ponzi scheme. Now she's agreed to help one of them, an aging 1960s Hollywood starlet named Bernice. This interesting spelling. Bernice Benny Alderidge seek financial restoration. That sounds so good. Oh my goodness, a 1960s starlet. Oh, that sounds so good. Okay, yeah. Interesting. So yes, I would read more, but it sounds like it gets a little more, even more intense. So I am very excited. Yeah, let's read the next paragraph. Why not? Jade sets off along Route 66 with Benny and her handsome adult foster son, Bridger, who is filming a documentary retracing the 1956 trip that started the love story between Benny and her recently deceased husband, Paul. Listening to Betty recount her story draws Jade into memories of her own darker association with Route 66, when she was kidnapped as a child by a man the media labeled a monster, but she remembers only as Daddy. I can't wait for that one. Oh, it's going to be exciting. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, okay. It's going to be good. May 7th, so we're going backwards. The Song of Sourwood Mountain by Anne H. Gabbert. This is her newest book. That's a mouthful to say, but I love the cover. I bet my mom loves this one too because she loves the bluebirds. So so this one is about in 1910 when Mira Dean's hopes of being a wife and mother are dashed to pieces. Her fiancé dead from tuberculosis, Mira resigns herself to being a spinster school teacher until Gordon Covington shows up. No longer the boy she knew from school, Gordon is now a preacher who is full of surprises. First, he asks Mira to come to Sourwood in eastern Kentucky to teach at his mission school. Second, he asks her to marry him. Just like that, and all at once the doors that had seemed firmly shut begin to open, just a crack. With much trepidation, Mira steps out in faith into a life she never imagined, in a place filled with its own special challenges, to serve a people who will end up becoming the family she always dreamed of. Sounds pretty good. Okay. June 18th, before I forget, this is another debut novelist. It's called Her Part to Play by Jenny Erlingson. Love this cover. It's gorgeous. And so this one, it doesn't even have a description. Okay, interesting. So no description for this one on Goodreads. Okay. I was going to say I can try to look up somebody's review. Okay, I'm going to read Patricia Raybon's review of it. What a sparkling, stunning debut, Jenny Arlington weaves a Hollywood makeover tale into a hometown setting that warms the heart and opens the curtain on star-crossed lovers faced with learning life's deepest lessons about who they are in Christ. Then by faith, they can find their way to the meaning of a lasting, true love that honors Him. A modern romance with old-fashioned courage and depth. Nice. Okay, sounds really good. I know I read the description somewhere. It probably was on Baker Bookhouse's website, but there's nothing on Goodreads. Maybe I should let them know about that. Maybe somebody could put it on there. All right, and then there is one coming out again on May 21st. Which is With Each Tomorrow by Tracy Peterson and Kimberly Woodhouse. So this is the second book in the series, and so I'm not going to say anything about it because it probably is a little bit of a continuation because I feel like they do continuation stories, so not going to say anything. But I have a feeling it's going to be good, and I think it's still set in the Glacier National Park lakes. So I love their settings. They have great settings. Okay, and then Misu Andrews is coming out with a new short story collection called The Nameless Ones. This is coming out on April 2nd, and I'm really excited because, even her short stories are fantastic. She is just an incredible writer. I don't normally like short stories, but I feel like she does such a great job at short stories that they feel like they're complete. You know, they feel like complete stories where it doesn't feel like you need to have a full-length novel. Like, she's great. Love her. And there's no description, but just know that I will be reading it and buying it. Okay, the next one is The Roads We Follow by Nicole Deese, which is coming out April 30th. Yeah, again, all the dates are messed up, but that's okay. So yeah, so The Roads We Follow. This is the second book in the Fog and Harbor series. Enjoyed the first one. So in this one, we're following a daughter of a country music legend named Reagan Farrow. She longs to establish an identity away from the spotlight and publish her small-town romances under a pen name. But after her dream is dashed when she won't exploit her mother's fame to further her own career, she hears a rumor from a reliable source regarding a tell-all being written about the Farrow family. Making matters worse, the unknown author has gone to great lengths to remain anonymous until publication. Wow, sounds good. Sounds even better than the first book. All right, now next one is called These Tangled Threads. It's a Biltmore novel, so Biltmore Mansion, probably, I'm guessing, by Sarah Lawden Thomas. And I'm not sure if this is another debut novel. I think it could be, actually, but I could be mistaken, though. So yeah, I could be mistaken. Oh, no, it's not her first book, so my mistake. But anyway, so this is, it says, 7 years ago, a hidden betrayal scattered 3 young friends living in the shadow of Biltmore Estate. Now in Biltmore Industries, master weaver Lorna Blankenship is commissioned to create an original design for Cornelia Vanderbilt's 1924 wedding. She panics knowing she doesn't have the creativity needed, but there's an elusive artisan in the Blue Ridge Mountains who could save her if only she can find her. To track the mysterious weaver down, Lorna sees no other way but to seek out the relationship she abandoned in shame. As she pulls at each tangled thread from her old life, Lorna is forced to confront the wounds and regrets of long ago. She'll have to risk the job that shapes her identity, as well as the hope of friendship and love restored. So that sounds good. All right, now this is one that I am so excited for. I am on the unofficial launch team. Yes, please. So, Love in Tandem by Becca Kinzer. I am so excited that she is coming out with another book, probably another romantic comedy. I am just so excited. So the cover is super cute. Love these like cutesy, sweet covers. So yes, there's already 31 ratings for it. 4.5 stars almost. I cannot wait. So this one says, she's perfectly content leading a quiet life in her small hometown. He's an adventurer with unquenchable wanderlust. The two couldn't be any more opposite if they tried, but a tandem bicycle and a 500-mile road trip just might change all that. Now, there is a huge description box here. I'm not going to read all that because, well, I don't want to spoil myself because, like, there are certain authors that I just kind of want to enjoy on the ride, and I'm like, I don't care what they write. I'm just going to read it. This is one of them. I love Becca. She's only written one book so far, 2 books now. I will read anything she writes, so I'm excited. This is another one. There's a few coming out that I am so excited for. I don't even care what it's about. Joanna Davidson Politano has a new one coming out. This is The Elusive Truth of Lily Temple and has to do with the 1920s. Yes, 1920s. Oh, I am so excited. I love 1920s. I believe I heard her mention something about fairy tales, and I'm just like, yes, please. So this is about Peter Driscoll, who's an underground investigator to the wealthy. Okay, even that sentence just like got me excited. He's never met anyone like Lily Temple. The beautiful silent film actress spins fairy tales and plays frivolous roles in front of the cine-camera. But beneath the costumes and stage makeup is a woman with a quick wit and a murky past. I'm so excited. I'm really excited. Yes. Oh, 1903. Not the 1920s, but still around that general area. But yes, so excited. Yes, so can't wait to read that one. Another one that I'm super excited for, Nightfalls on Predicament Avenue by Jamie Jo Wright. Doesn't matter what it's about, I will read it. So this one, let's see. 1910. Effie James is living a dream for 2. Her younger sister is harboring a secret that has left timid Effie determined to fulfill her daring sister's grand plan of seeking out adventure in their small Iowa town. When a British gentleman arrives disrupting their peace with efforts to find the wife many claim lived her final days at the now abandoned house at 322 Predicament Avenue, Effie is thrust into intrigue she couldn't have prepared for. But what she finds inside will forever link her to the scandal staining the house's walls and to a woman whose secrets promise a curse. That sounds so good. A century later, Nora Richmond is living out her late twins' dream of running their great aunt's bed and breakfast on Predicament Avenue, a place Nora believes nothing good can come out of after her sister's abduction and murder 13 years ago. Her first guest is a crime historian and podcaster, and Nora resolves to stay far away from the charming and enigmatic man until another guest is found dead. As they dig deeper, something sinister unfurls that will reveal an ominous unknown far greater than the possibility of death itself. Sounds good. Sounds good. I'm also having a really great hair day. I don't know if you noticed that. Anyways, I just noticed. I'm like, wow, my hair is doing strange things today. Anyways, let's go on because we still have a few to go. At least this video isn't going to be as long as others because I didn't have as many, but that's a good thing because I'll actually be able to read quite a few of these, hopefully. All right, the next one is coming out on May 14th, and that is Darkness Calls the Tiger by Dan Trump. This might be my favorite cover coming out this spring. Can you see that cover? The tiger, the dark jade around that tiger. That is a stunning cover. Stunning. I love it. It's probably going to be one of my favorite covers. I am so excited to read this one, and hopefully I'll get a copy of it. I'm hoping. But anyways, this cover is stunning. I don't even remember what it was about. I just remember that I was like, that cover, I need to read it. I need to read it. And she's a lovely girl. I met her. Okay. This one says, my adopted people have a story, a legend, that speaks of a time so dark the sun will turn his back on the mountains and swallow the moon. It is then that the Shara, the tiger man, will come prowling, exacting revenge on the darkness. But there is no great darkness in me or my world. It isn't always comfortable, but it has always been predictable until the soldiers came. So this is a little bit after the attack on Pearl Harbor, when missionaries Kaylin Moran and Ryan James face a brutal Japanese attack on their village high in the mountains of Burma. So I have a feeling I'm going to really like that one. And I have a feeling I'm going to cry. We'll see. Let's see. Jocelyn Green's coming out with her next book in the On Central Park series, which is called the Hudson Collection. And this cover matches the first cover. I think they just go perfectly together. And I love the red dress. I feel like, wow, that's like the perfect pop of color on there. It's going to be great. So this one is about Elsa. I think I remember that name from the first book. Her lifelong dream of working as an ornithologist at the American Museum of Natural History is fading as the job begins to drain her passion. But fate takes an unexpected turn when she is assigned to catalog the bequest of a recently deceased patron whose Gothic country mansion holds secrets and treasures waiting to be discovered. Nice. So I love a good, I don't know, I love museums. I feel like I love them more now than I ever have growing up. So I feel like a good story around a museum and artifacts is just gonna be a good time. So do I have any more for you? I think that might be it. Yeah, we're done. We're finally done. Okay, so this video was a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. Let me know if there's any books that you are looking forward to. I know I missed probably a ton, but I did try to do research. I try to do research every 3 months to see what's coming out for you all as well as for myself because I want to know what's out there. And I know I missed a ton. I mean, I want to read more indie published authors. I just wish I had Kindle Unlimited more often, but it's expensive. So yeah. So those are all the books that I'm excited for, some more than others. You can tell by my excitement and the look on my face which one I was more excited for. But honestly, I'm excited to read all of these. I think it's going to be a great spring of new releases. And I already know a lot of new releases that are coming out in fall. It's just going to be a great year. I know it. So even summer has some really great ones too. So yes, I'm excited. Let me know down below in the comments which ones you're excited about reading this year coming up. Let me know if you're like, ooh, I didn't know that one was coming out. Now you know. So I'm happy I could help if I could. All right, so I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.